Hello my friends, my name is Tim Johnson. This is a video of gratitude and of celebration. It's been 3 years to the day since the last mind-altering substance entered my body, August the 12th, 2016, and in that instance it was alcohol. And a couple of months prior to that, or several months actually, I'd made the decision to change, which I'll come on to in a second, but a couple of months prior to August the 12th, I decided to stop the opiates first because I was severely addicted to opiates. Opiates and alcohol had been severe addictions for me for over 30 years. And there had been periods of sobriety, and there had been rehabs too, and there had been counselling and psychotherapy and Suboxone therapy and Christ knows what else, but nothing had ever stuck or worked. And as I say, a couple of months before August the 12th, 2016, I decided once and for all to make the change in my life, or the changes in my life. And to do that, I just want to pass this on here now, there was some crucial elements. And the first crucial element was what I call need, want and seek. And that was a final realization, and many people have different descriptions for this, or different ways of describing it. But first of all, need was the need. I realized I needed to change. And I realized that I was stuck in a cycle, and had been for 30 years. And I'd had massive successes in my life and destroyed nearly every single one of them through my addictions. I needed to change. I realized I needed to change because I was stuck in a loop, craving behavior and seeking behavior that always had negative consequences to myself and to all those around me and to things around me. And I consistently craved that behavior, which in my case was opiates and alcohol. It has been food and other addictions throughout my life, but mostly opiates and alcohol. I was craving that behavior, seeking it, repeating it constantly, and always the negative consequences. But the problem was that those negative consequences had escalated to a point that the choice was death. It was simple as that. Which brings me on to want. So I realized I needed to change. It suddenly dawned on me, God, it took long enough. Don't leave it as long as me, please. At 56 I was. The want to change is one of the most crucial elements, and you really have to have a strong want. And in my case, it couldn't have been much stronger, really, I suppose. And it was a couple of elements. One was I knew I was dying. I'd come to that realization when I was vomiting blood into the sink every morning, not leaving my apartment in this beautiful place I live in, not wanting to go outside, only ever leaving the apartment and summoning the energy to go and get more opiates and get more alcohol, and only just summoning the energy to get to the shop to do that because I was constantly in withdrawal, and literally I was just staving off withdrawal constantly on this hamster wheel. So I was near to death. That was number one. Number two, and probably the thing that was my greatest drive and inspiration, if you like, and that was, of course, my beautiful family. I'd hurt them consistently over so many years and let them down over so many years with dishonesty, selfishness, lies, deceit, cheating. But most importantly, I suppose, both my girls had grown, because I'd tried to be a good father along the way. If it hadn't been for my wife, obviously, as the steadying influence, they probably wouldn't have turned out as beautiful and as successful as they are. And they are both, thank God, extremely successful and happy. And that realization came to me that obviously my oldest daughter was settling down to and was going to be married in a year or so's time from that point in August 2016. And I wanted to see her married. I wanted to see both my daughters married and take them both down the aisle with them looking at me with pride, with me having my dignity, my self-worth, my self-respect, and all of that, yeah, my integrity returned, and their trust. But I wanted to give them away. I wanted to see my grandchildren. I wanted to live. I wanted to feel. I wanted to breathe. And this was this massive drive, and it just suddenly came to me. And it's not going to come to you in a flash of blinding light all the time, but you have to realise, you have to count your blessings, you have to look at what you have got and what you need to protect and what you have got to live for, because it may not feel like you've got anything to live for at the moment, but the fact that you are alive and breathing is a miracle, and it is a prize that you shouldn't just throw away. And I spent most of my life trying to throw that prize away, and thank God that realization came to me. So need, want, the want has to be so strong, and in my case, fortunately, it was strong. And then seek, and the seek was, I absolutely crammed as much information into me. My mind opened, and I knew I had to be open to everything, open-minded to everything. I listened to podcast after podcast. I have nothing against AA. The fact is, it didn't work for me several times in the past, in rehab twice. It didn't work for me because it didn't deal with the main source of the issue, my problems, which I'll come on to in just a quick second. I have nothing against that because it's helpful. You know, I'm open-minded, but and I truly believe that it does help some people. It just wasn't for me. I needed to find another way. So I looked and I looked. I educated myself. I listened to people, inspiring people such as Ryan Donnelly, God rest his soul, such as Kevin O'Hara, Alcohol Mastery. They were original ones. I looked at TED Talks, information, ebooks, Christ knows what else. I already had a lot of knowledge about withdrawal and about the physical aspects and all of that sort of stuff. But I just wanted as much knowledge inside of me as I could, as much help. I joined online groups which were like-minded to myself. I communicated with people. So that was the seeking help part, if you like, the seeking. So what does it take? Well, 6 months later from that date in August, I made my first video on here, which was on January the 1st, 2017. And I'm not going to go into all the details of my travels through those for the last 2 and a bit years, on video that is. But you'll see when you look at that first video that although I was 6 months sober, I was still in a shit state. I was grossly overweight still. I was still seeking, if you like, and I was struggling and I was fighting to stay sober, if you like. And then everything sort of clicks into place. You'll see it on the videos. I tell my life story in some videos from about a year ago. For those of you that are interested in watching them, there's 250 videos in the channel now. Please subscribe, please like, please share them. Just helps more people see them. And they tell my story along the way, if you like, how I've learned and what I've learned, and how it's helped me and how some of it hasn't helped me. And what's been the key? Well, what is the key? There's no magic solution. Let me just tell you that now. There's no easy way of doing this. Anyone who does this, and believe me, I've accomplished a lot of good things and hard things in my life. I've run marathons, I've ultra marathons, I've built big businesses successfully, and many other things, which I'm not on a list. It was all about ego, if you like, but I've done a lot of hard things, but nothing can prepare you or is as hard as this. Trust me, it isn't. It isn't easy, but it is worth every single second of any pain that it causes you for the rewards that it will bring you and the freedom it will bring you and the new life it will bring you. Not one aspect of my life hasn't improved 1,000%. It has everything. And the keys, and you'll find all this in much more detail in my video, that you need to be focusing on. Number one, always number one, diet and exercise. I know harp on and harp on. It's been the single biggest foundation and building block for me. Regular exercise has helped that, depression, anxiety. It's got me stronger, fitter. It's got rid of stress and all sorts of Christ knows what. Plus the fact it's made me incredibly strong and healthy. My resting heart rate now is 55. In addiction, I remember taking it regularly. It was over 100. I'm now weighing in at round about 13 stone in weight. I just feel 1,000% better. But the nutrition is, you are what you eat. I've got many videos of this on the channel, so have a look at that. Number two, critical. Deal with the shit from your past. This is the number one, I suppose, outside of diet and nutrition. Deal with the stuff from your past, because as Eckhart Tolle says, addiction starts with pain and ends with pain. Gabor Mate, one of my heroes, all the research he's done into addiction, he says addiction starts with pain, usually in childhood, but it can be any time. Physical, mental, spiritual pain, whatever sort of pain. You need to deal with that and sort it. Whether that means counselling, psychotherapy, whether it means forgiveness, whatever it means, you need to revisit it. And it takes a lot of bravery and you need to face a lot of pain sometimes, as I did. But you need to deal with it, because until you resolve that, you've resolved nothing, and you're dangerously near relapse unless you resolve it. And number three, gratitude. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude every single day. I've reprogrammed my brain. It's made me more positive. Neuroplasticity, it's called. Consistent gratitude, consistent positivity. Your brain will rewire itself. Doesn't matter how fucked up it is. It will rewire itself. And you can once again become the person that you deserve to be. The person, the best version of yourself you can possibly be. And I'm still aiming, and I'm still journeying every single day, if you like, to be better and better and better. I put myself through pain every single day, because it's important to push your limitations. And I'm doing this thing, I'm 60, February 29th next year, February the 29th, 2020. I'm a leap year baby, so I only have a real birthday every 4 years, and I'm 60 this year. And I'm challenging myself, 6-pack at 60. I want to prove that through diet and nutrition, and whatever age you are, don't limit yourself. And I will reveal this body for what it's worth then, and show you what is possible to achieve, whatever age you are, whatever your state was before. Nothing is impossible. And the final thing I want to say is, for sobriety of any sort, or changing your life, whatever your changes you want to make to your life positively, you're going to need self-discipline. And it's a muscle just like every other muscle that you need to exercise consistently. Determination, self-discipline. It's been integral to my recovery. And finally, I just want to say that anyone going through this, in my mind, is a warrior, is someone who should be admired. You should be proud of yourself for making any sort of change in your life, because most people go through their lives and are satisfied with what they have, and even though they know they need to change, they don't want to change. And anyone that wants to change and actually achieves it is a warrior, a battler, and has my respect, and you should be proud of yourselves. So Carpe Diem, seize the day. Here's to the next 3 years. Please subscribe, please like, please share the videos. Much love to you all. Thank you. Bye-bye.